I'm growing every day. One cloudy night, the rain falls with thunder. When no one cares how I'm afraid. Ooh, 'cause everybody knows that I'm growing every day. Growing every day. The moment that I'm looking up, the moment that I'm looking down, the moment that I walked by four, time that before I walked by two. All I want is just be taller. All I want is just be stronger. No matter what I'm seeking for, I never stop singing out. Yes, I'm growing every day. The moment that I'm looking up, the moment that I'm looking down, the moment that I walked by four. I'm growing every day. One cloudy night, the rain falls with thunder. When no one cares how I'm afraid.
Good morning, my team. I can see
'Cause
Saki there.
everybody knows
Mr. Festus,
that I'm
Monica.
growing every day.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
Growing every
Good
day.
morning, welcome.
The moment
President,
that I'm
you are
looking
cited.
up, the moment that I'm looking down, the
Madam
moment
Monica, good
that
morning.
I walked by
Good
four,
morning.
time that before I walked by two. All I
Okay.
want was just be taller. All I want was just be stronger. No matter what I'm seeking for, I never stop singing out. Yes, I'm growing every day. I love my life, it's just full of wonders. But why does time go by so fast? So fast. Ooh, I'm growing every day. Ooh, 'cause everybody knows that I'm growing every day. Growing every day. The moment that I'm looking up, the moment that I'm looking down, the moment that I walked by four, time that before I walked by two. All I want is just be taller. All I want is just be stronger. No matter what I'm seeking for, I never stop singing out. Yes, I'm growing every day. The moment that I'm looking up, the moment that I'm looking down, the moment that I walked by four, time that before I walked by two. All I want is just be taller. All I want is just be stronger. No matter what I'm seeking for, I never stop singing out. Yes, I'm growing every day. I love my life, it's just full of wonders. But why does time go by so fast?
I had silent. Am I the only one? Oh, it's... Hello? Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, fine.
But you can increase your volume a little bit.
Hello, good morning, everybody.
Okay, good morning. Six.
Good morning.
Abano,
Mr. Victor, good morning.
yes,
Good morning.
are we good to go?
Yeah, we are good to go. Maybe we'll give them some minutes. I don't know if it's allowed for more participants to join.
Okay, let's give it additional 5 minutes.
Okay.
Mr. Brown, good morning.
Hello, Mr. Victor.
Abanu.
I think we can start now. Okay. Good morning, everyone. You're welcome to our first technical interactive series for the ASSP, American Society of Safety Professionals, Nigeria chapter, Young Emerging Professionals technical interactive series I scheduled to hold today. To kickstart the program, I'll be calling on the chapter secretary to give us the introduction. Mr. Victor.
All right, thank you very much. I don't know if you can see my face. Okay. Good morning, everybody. Thank you very much for making our time to be here to come and be part of this very interactive and very incisive knowledge sharing series by the Young Emerging Professionals. I believe that the speakers who will be speaking today will really enlighten us, especially in the area of safety. They are leads and experts in their various area of interest, and they have what it takes to empower us to be able to know the necessary elements to be professionals in safety. Thank you once again. At this point, I would like to yield the floor to my very own president, Mr. Shehu Kabiru, to give us the opening remark as we set the ball rolling. Thank you very much. Over to you, Mr. President Shehu.
All right. Thank you, Chairman, Yef, and also Branch Secretary. Okay, let me open so that you see my face. Can you see me? Good morning, my professional colleague, and to all those that have joined. I want to appreciate the coordination of Yef Chairman in person of Mr. Victor Ibe and his team for organizing first technical interactive series for the year 2021 chapter year. And also my appreciation goes to our two young, vibrant speakers for today's interactive session, Mr. Arioti Precious and Mr. Babatunde Ade Subba. I hope I have pronounced it very well. Thank you for honoring our invitation. The Young Emerging Professionals provide the unique lens into the future of the safety profession by engaging students and entry level to mid-career safety professionals within ASSP. YEP are the next generation of safety professionals. They also provide the vast and supportive community for the networking, collaboration, and change making by bringing members to advocate on occupational safety and health. Now, what I wanted to say here is that in not too distant future, our vibrant chapter activities will boast of young emerging professionals who are to take over the affairs of occupational health and safety in ASSP. As we are all aware, the youth is the hope of our future. In order not to take much of time, let us open our mind and heart to learn from the ASSP Nigerian chapter. Yeah, remain focused and good morning. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, for that opening remark. So over to you, Abanu. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mr. Victor and Mr. President, Mr. Shehu Kabiru. I'll be sharing the slides to introduce our first speaker for knowledge sharing series. We'll be listening to Mr. Precious Ayote. I'll read his profile briefly. Mr. Precious Ayote is a NEBOSH certified and registered ISPON HSE member with over 6 years experience in the manufacturing and energy, that is oil and gas sector. He is adept in supervision, compliance, implementation, and monitoring of health safety and environment management systems. He is well-grounded, passionate, and motivated to deliver and initiate top-notch sustainable safety solutions, which will help cultivate the safest working environment, reasonably practicable, and increase return on investment. He has solid background in leadership, team building, and forward planning, and this has allowed him to manage teams with exceptional performance. Mr. Precious is a graduate from University of Port Harcourt with BNG in chemical engineering. His professional qualifications include NEBOSH IGC, functional safety, first aider, fire warding, and level 3 ISPON. Mr. Precious is highly proficient in implementing and improving policies to hedge against avoidable loss or liabilities resulting from hazardous conditions / unsafe practices, and ensure the impact of the company's business and environment is compliant with regulatory and industrial requirements. He is highly regarded for his performance in monitoring, evaluation, and reporting skills to improve workers' enthusiasm and develop efficacy. Some of his key achievements include managing and maintaining accountability for the HSE performance by training staff to meet business needs, establishing HSE department goals, objectives, and actively supporting workers in the achievement of established goals and objectives, developing HSE budgets and ensuring expenditures did not exceed the limits, monitoring and actively participating in the management of injury claims with a result of positive reduction of incidents over time, and facilitating incident investigations and providing reliable solutions. Mr. Precious is the HSEQ lead for Quest Oil Group Nigeria. Please help me welcome Mr. Precious Ayote, technical member IOSH, as he leads us on the topic, which says introducing young and emerging professionals to the HSE profession. Mr. Precious.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Abraham, and
Sorry, Mr. Precious, your volume is low. I don't know if you can.
okay. Can you hear me better now?
Yes, it's much better.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Abraham, for giving me this privilege. Thank you, my secretary, and thank you, Mr. President, for setting this platform for me to share my knowledge as regards the HSE profession. Am I to share my screen, or you do that from your end, Abraham? Which would you prefer?
Yeah, it's fine for you to share it so that I can have a control of it.
Okay. Just a moment, please. Let me share my screen. Okay. Please, can you confirm if you can see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen. It's not on slide mode.
Okay. It's coming up now. Okay, confirm if it's on slide mode now.
Yes, it's visible now. We can see it now.
Okay, so I'll be talking briefly on introducing young and emerging professionals here to the HSE profession. So basically, what I'll be sharing with us today is a different perception as regard HSE profession, because I believe I'm selling HSE profession to us. So those that are just starting the career or at the mid-level or senior level, I'm trying to bring another perception of HSE profession, because I believe it is time for us to have a different look when it comes to HSE profession. So I'll be going straight into what I have for us today. So the objective of my presentation will go like this. Who is a HSE professional? HSE areas of specialization, the how and why behind HSE profession in different industries, the future of HSE profession. So at the end of my presentation, I believe this will be the impression that I'm going to leave on everyone's hearts today. So going forward, Starban, I will want you to just, I'll need 2 volunteers, so a male and a female. What do you expect section. Like, what are they expecting from the two speakers? Let's say they should say what they expect from the HSC profession as the interaction section. Please, can you share? Pick two from the participants. I just want to hear from them.
Let's see if they will raise up their hands or indicate the interest to share their expectations.
Okay. So please, participant, I will encourage us, please, a male and female. What do you expect as regard HSC profession and knowledge sharing section? Okay, Sabanam, I'm seeing one person, Engineer Diame Vincent. So, Engineer Diame, please go on.
All right, good morning, everybody.
Good morning, we can hear you loud and clear.
All right, thank you. Yeah, my expectation basically is, in the world we are in presently, I could see we're having a whole lot of gaps to cover, as a company, as we get occupational safety and health. And I will use the issue of this Ikoyi incident as a case study. I believe we're having some professionals, those that actually work in terms of the construction. I believe they are well rooted, rooted in their field. All right. Now they are well grounded in their field. So I think we need a kind of enabling environment for occupational safety and health to be much more functional, because I see a lot of issue, a lot of us in the country Nigeria are actually going for international certifications. And the reason the reason behind that basically is because even what we actually have in our own in-house professional body, they are not organized. A whole lot of issues here and there and all. So if strong men like you can actually come out, and you can actually tell the world you probably some selected few, so we can actually have this whole issue facing occupational safety and health. You can actually have it resolved once and for all.
Okay,
now you can imagine entry level safety person. You can imagine if some organizations don't even respect occupational safety, they don't even respect safety officers.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
Due to the mindset, the mentality everybody actually having. So I believe. Hello, sir.
Okay, thank you. I want you to make it brief, so that's why I will stop you here, please. So okay, continue. I believe we got your message. I believe is passing the message across. So maybe the next slide I'll be sharing, or the next subsequent slide I'll be sharing, will clear your doubts as regards what is I think is a fundamental issue that regard our perception with HSC in this part of the world. So thank you, Engineer Ngame Vincent. I really appreciate your comment. Okay, so what we'll be expecting for us, our training outline is HSC introduction, HSC framework, common HSC skill sets. Then we'll go on for the questions and comment section. I believe that will be more interactive because I want to hear from the participants so that we can give positive feedback on what is on ground, what's our experience as regard HSC profession. So next is HSC introduction. Now, I'm not coming here to define what HSC is, what H stands for, S stands for, or E stands for. We all know health, safety, and environment. Now, just from what Engineer Vincent we were just talking about is, I think we're talking about the perception and drive for this profession. I believe most of us, just limited us have the opportunity to study HSC in university. I mean, those are schooled in Nigeria, because most disciplines in our university don't even have this HSC as a faculty or as a department or as a course to study. So what is our perception? How do we understand? How do we comprehend? What's our awareness of HSC profession and our drive, that innate urge, the desire for us as regard HSC profession? I will have to be sincere. I've spoken to several entry-level HSC professionals or mid-level or senior levels. You see, they have different perceptions. Most of them is just let's do this certification, let's go so we make money for ourselves, we live good life. What is the value? Most of us will fail to understand that what's going to drive you matters a lot, because anywhere you find yourself is your drive that will speak for you. Your drive is what will give you that tolerance, that endurance to speak the truth. Because I believe if you as a HSC professional, if you stand your ground and you speak the truth, over time, you tend to convince the people ahead of you, irrespective of their level of position in the company, you tend to influence how they perceive HSC, because most of the time they just see HSC as a regulatory requirement. Okay, once you are doing this construction, you have to have HSC department or HSC personnel. That's that perception. So you that is saying I want to be a HSC professional, what is your perception? What is your drive? By the time you have that drive of this is how I want to live my life, this is what I want to do, this is how I'm going to make value for my generation. So that's what I want to urge everyone as regard HSC. Do not see it as you do international qualification or certification or the local one. What is your drive? What value? One important thing about HSC that made it stand out from all professionals, it is integrated into all disciplines. Be you a mechanical maintenance person, electrical maintenance personnel, operational personnel, no matter your field, HSC cut across everything. So if you are diving into HSC profession and you think it's just about unsafe art, unsafe condition, you get it wrong. You need to be knowledgeable. You need to be research-based mindset. Have that research-based mindset, because there are two things that keeps the ball rolling for a HSC professional: the passion and is research-based. You don't just stick to the training you had. Okay, I had NEBOSH 2015, and you think that's it. No, it's research-based. Every day things change. Things are evolving in workplaces, be it in the oil and gas industry, the construction industry, the power sector. Things are evolving every day. So as a HSC professional, you need to know that this is your passion and it's also research-based. So that is the mindset I want I want us to have when it comes to HSC. So in introducing yourself as HSC professional, yes, you are accountable for the health, safety, and environment of different workplaces. But what is your drive? Because you have to speak the truth cautiously. Don't be policing HSC. You have to learn to persuade people to know that HSC is safe and is good to practice. So HSC framework. So irrespective of the industry for any HSC professional, based on my experience and what I know is obtainable, it is the same journey for all. Note, it is the same journey. I'm not talking about the framework is, yes, you can do this. It is a journey. HSC profession is a journey. There is no end point. There is no that, okay, at the end of the year, there is zero incidents, productivity. I know it's a journey. You keep on improving. You keep on reminding people, keep on promoting their awareness. It's a journey. So it is the same journey for all, which is to foster healthy well-being for workers, not just their physical well-being, their psychological well-being also. That is one key thing that people fail to understand. People coming to work, going back home, are they physically and psychologically okay? That's where a safety HSC professional need to look after. It's not about the place is safe for them to work. How are they being treated? The line managers of the frontline workers, how are they interacting with each other? It is still your responsibility, because the mental well-being also affects how the worker perceives HSC. So protection of our environment, yes, this is very, very key. Some of us, we take this for granted, where when we accumulate waste in our facilities, we don't even try to encourage our management that we can even make profit from our waste, so as to not, should I say, pollute our environment, be it solid waste, oily waste, gaseous waste. There are ways that we need to encourage amendment. So this is also our responsibility, protect of our environment and employers' reputation. Yes, no matter what, you are an ambassador of where you work. So you need to know how to inculcate the core values that is written in the document. Most of all these things we see in different friends. Yeah, I'm talking in this part of the world in Nigeria. Yes, they're in the books, but all those things that you see in they are documented. They are not functioning. There are not people driving these core values. Most of the time you hear our core values is commitment, our core values is excellence, our core values is professionalism. Who are the people that are driving these core values? It is your responsibility, because if you can drive that core values, I bet you your place will be easy for you to promote awareness of safety, as well as the safety of the assets. So this is the journey for all HSE professionals, the journey for the healthy well-being of workers, protection of environment, your employer's reputation, because you have integrity and reputation to protect. Anything that affects your organization affects you. Don't you know this unfortunate incident or accident that happened at Ikoyi? Everybody, the engineers, the top people, the HSE, the professionals that work throughout that process, their reputation has been indicted. It's going to take a while for that thing to clear off. If that is supposed to be in a developed country, we all know most of them, they will lose their license of working. So that's one thing we should get in our mind. And don't be reluctant. Don't be discouraged. Even if you are proposing good things or good safe system of working where you are working and your top management is always saying no, they see it as expenditure department. Yes, that's how they see HSE. But learn to create value, low sustainable value that are cost effective. Not everything you just bring to the management. They will look at the financial application of everything. So you need to justify your proposals that this is what they stand to gain in long term and in short term. So what are the framework that guides HSE? Legal framework. So before you jump into any industry, be it oil and gas, be it construction, be it the power sector, yes, you need to know the legal framework that guides you to operate. Because most of us, we just go, oh, I want to work in the oil and gas. What is the legal framework guiding this? Yes, we all hear DPR, DPR, DPR. Which framework are they using? Are you familiar with e-gas scheme? Are you familiar with MOS? All these are different framework that they use to regulate the industry. So as HSE professional, you are jumping into an industry, familiarize yourself with the legal framework. And also, when you join any company, try and look for their policies, be it HSE policy, be it HR policies, be it legal and compliance policy. You have to familiarize yourself with this, because at the end of the day, this is an avenue for you to know the management commitment, so you can advise and use that policy to get their attention that you said this, but you are not doing this. All these are what you should prepare yourself, not just you jump into work, all you want to do, you go for inspection on safe items. No, you have to go to the roots. If there is no policy, then what are you managing? What is leading you to do the right things at your workplace? So you start from the policy, enactment of policy in different organizations. So these things cut across different industries, be it the power sector. It's the same way, but the approach are sometimes different. So international codes and standards, this is very, very key. This is very key. Truth be told, if you are not familiar with the codes and standards that your facility are being designed and constructed with, you have failed woefully. That is the truth, because this will give you the standard that are to be met. What are you supposed to do? What are supposed to be in place? Once you know these codes and standards, what are these codes and standards? They are easy, they are on the internet. Okay, you are working in an FPG facility. Do you know the codes and standards that facility was constructed with? So these are the different things you need to put in your plan. Okay, I'm going to LPG, I'm going to the white product depot operation, I'm going to port operation. All these, you need to know the international code and standard. They are there. NPFA, NFPA, National Fire Protection Association, they have different code. Code 10 talks about installation of fire extinguishers. Code 58 talks about wide product depot operation. Code 59A talks about LPG or gas operation. So when you familiarize yourself with those different codes, it gives you insight. You know that, okay, this section in this facility, this is the safety requirement. This other section, this is the safety requirement. When you familiarize yourself with this code and standard, when you talk to the engineers, they don't see you as somebody that is just coming to do unsafe act and unsafe condition. No, this will also guide you, because one thing you need to know, hazard, if you don't even know how to spot hazard, if you don't know how to spot the risks in your workplace, this international code and standard will give you great insights. There are some hazard that you can see that is so obvious. You can see a sharp object on the floor and you say, okay, that's the hazard. But there are what called process hazard in oil and gas. That's concerns process safety specialization. Process hazard. They don't talk about over pressure, over temperature, low pressure, low temperature. How would you know that? It's by how to see, okay, this is the P&ID for this facility. So this section operates on this pressure. This section operates on this temperature. So when you know, okay, this is it. So quality assurance also matters. You need to know, okay, once this is not the process here, what they are doing will affect the whole process. So you need to be familiar with different international codes and standards. And lastly, which is, should I say, the growth of technology now is unspeakable. Nobody knows what is coming up for us when it comes to technology. And do you know that in developed countries, these are ways that HSC professionals are thriving, because your main aim is to reduce injury, and technology can help you with that. Gone are those days you go to construction site, all you do is just to write your HSC statistics. You can manage it with your system, with your Microsoft Excel now. There are so many software that can help you, that can give you that, okay, if your statistics continue to be like this in the next 3 months, this is what can happen. Different data analysis are thriving into HSC now. There are some facilities that they use drones for inspections. So you need to familiarize yourself with, okay, what are the technologies that are coming up now, and how can I apply it in this profession? Most of them, yes, they are capital intensive, but there are some that you just need to learn and apply. So I will be discussing lastly here on HSC skill sets. Yes, there are different skills that when you want to talk about HSC, there are different techniques, different methodologies. If we start measuring it here now, I don't think we will leave this place. So please permit me, I'm going to give a guide on what we should look out for when learning these skills, because some of us will just jump, I want to do this training so I can get this skill, but we don't know the fundamentals that guide you, that will make you know that, okay, this is the reason why I need to learn this skill. It depends on how you want to be competent. Your competency matters in this HSC. So what guides your competency? There's an acronym, you can say there, STATE. S for skills, K for knowledge, A for abilities, T for training, E for experience. So I will start with this ability. Abilities, sometimes we think, yes, this person can do this person can do that. Most of the time, abilities are naturally gained. They're your lifestyle. You can't tell yourself that I'm an HSC professional at work, and outside work, you don't, there's a bit such lifestyle. HSC is not just a work that you do, it's a life that you live, because it gives you this risk-based mindset. Anywhere you go, you tend to assess the risk of going here, the risk of going left, the risk of going to different locations. So the ability, so you need to tell yourself that this is a profession I want to live. Some you can learn them, some it has to be inbuilt. So you need to, over the time, you need to learn about how you can cultivate those habits. And what are the habits? Most of us will say, I'm HSC professionals. Do you have fire extinguishers in your house? The sockets that I use, the extensions that I use, when last do you assess the condition of those extensions? All these are things that you need to be in you, how to assess different things in different areas. Then the knowledge of it, K. This is very, very key. I always say it, HSC is research-based. Once you don't make your researches, they leave you behind. That is the truth, they leave you behind. So knowledge is very key. So what is this knowledge? Knowledge has three types. We have the implicit, we have the explicit, and we have the tacit. The implicit is the explicit is documented information. Yes, you see those informations, you read it, you gain it. That's one aspect. Second is applying those things you've learned from documented information, how you apply it. Now it doesn't end there. When you learn when you apply and you share that information, that shows that yes, I've understood this thing then. So knowledge. So you don't say, okay, I need to attain this certification before they call you HSC professional. No, that is the age we are now. Internet is free for everybody. Learn about these things. Learn about different operations in different industries. This will give you insight before you even have opportunity to work in those industries. Trainees, yes, different profession with their different requirements. Trainees is a requirement. Yes, for you to show competency, you need to engage in different training. Don't see these trainings as paper or as certificate. See these trainings as self-investment, because this will show you that this will make you legit in different people's eyes that yes, you are capable of bringing such value to our organization. Experience, yes, experience matters a lot. If you are young and new in this profession, please do not put finance, do not put money at first to HSC. Put experience, put value, because once you gain that experience over time, yes, people will pay you good sum of money for your value. So when you are entering this profession, don't say, yes, I spent 300,000 to get certificate, and yes, they need to pay me 250,000 naira per week, 250,000 naira per month. No, please, you need to gain this experience, because once you have the trainings, you have the ability, you have the knowledge and the skills, how are you going to apply it? So please volunteer to work as HSC assistant, HSC intern. This will guide you. This will give you insight on how you can add value to different organizations, be it in the oil and gas, be it in the banking industry, be it in the telecommunications. So gain this experience, be patient, have a long-term plan, short-term plan. All this will guide you. So what are the different HSC areas of specialization? Yes, some of us, we just think HSC. There are different areas. Just as you hear engineering, they have branch of chemical engineering, they have branch of electrical electronics, we have branch of mechanical. Yes, there is still the same for HSC areas of specialization. They have occupational HSC, which you can still refer to as personal HSC. All these people thrive most especially in the banking industry, in telecommunication, in the hospitality industries, because all they think about is how to have emergency protocols, how to prevent fire. Those are what basically professional health and safety they do. But in the process safety, which is part of my area of expertise, it's far from them. Process safety talks about not just the normal physical hazard that you see, it also talks about the process hazard. There are hazards in the pipes, there are hazards in the storage tank, there are hazards in different areas that you cannot see. Then the next is functional reliability safety. That's talk about how they design equipment, the inherent safety that this equipment they come with. There are sometimes we've read about a hierarchy of hazard control, the elimination, the substitution, the engineering control, which is what most people talk about, isolating the hazard. Now, this reliability safety talk about designing this equipment to have their own safety, called inherent safety. So it's a specialization also in safety. Electrical, electronics, engineering, they really thrive in this reliability safety. Process safety, the chemical engineers, mechanical engineering graduates normally thrive here. Construction safety, this is one of the complex. Some people, when they hear this construction safety, they just think that, is anything civil? No. There's structural construction, there's road construction, there's waterways construction. They are different. So you need to know these different areas so that anyone you say, okay, I'm a civil graduate, I'm a sociology graduate. You need to know, okay, where will I start from? Because you don't just say I studied accountant, and the next thing you said I want to work as a process safety officer. It will take you time, except you have that inner drive in you. And the place you find yourself, their safety culture is top notch. Yes, you can try. So this is a way for me to share what we all know as HSC areas of specialization. So I think this will be my last slide. I believe I'll be able to sell HSC profession to us and change our opinions, our perception as regard HSC. So next is questions and comments. Mr. Abanov, I don't know if you can take charge of that section.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Precious. So we'll move to the next section, which is the questions, comments, and answers for the first speaker. We'll make this brief, 1 or 2 comments or questions, or 1 question and 1 comment. Mr. Festus, your hand is up, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Precious. That was a wonderful presentation and a great insight into HSC as it were. Mine is not actually a question, it's just to lend my voice to further explain some of the things that Mr. Precious has rightly said. You know, when we talk about HSC, just like he has rightly said, a lot of people don't want to understand that HSC has gone beyond my brother fixing me up in a company and what have you. You all agree that some years back, a lot of persons that are into HSC, either maybe you just finished from university and you don't have anywhere to go, and they felt that is just a bus stop that you can just dump people. But honestly, from what Precious actually said, it's actually gone beyond that. It's a profession that you as a person must be able to create values for yourself. And a lot of people look at it that when you are in HSC, the management, they don't listen to you, they don't do this, they don't do that. Yeah, fair enough. You know, every management, they are always interested in making money, in making profit. But you, as an HSC profession, you must be able to leverage on that and make sure that you create a value for yourself. And how do I mean? Until we begin to speak the language of the management, speak the language of the would-be construction person, people that are actually involved in most of the tasks that is being performed, then we may not be able to have a cutting edge. Because you agree with me also that most of us, we have different professions. A lot of people who are in HSC now, they are engineers, and as an engineer, you'll be able to look at the nitty-gritty of the process of what is going to be executed. And when you have that knowledge, with your additional input as an HSC, you should be able to actually give an informed decision when it comes to that. And he has talked a lot about standards and codes. You know, a lot of things are changing, even with COVID-19. You agree with me, there are some standards now that is being developed on how we'll be able to live our lives and what have you. And as an HSC professional, you can't just sit down and not to doing anything. You must continue to ensure that research is going on. You must leverage on that. Even concerning legal framework that he talks about, there are laws and ethics guiding this our profession. A lot of things is actually involved. And until we begin to see all these things, not sitting down, but taking the challenge as an HSC profession, then we will not be able to actually get anywhere. So it's just to lend my voice to what he has actually said. Mr. Precious, you've actually spoken very well, and I want to believe this will go a long way to help our young and emerging HSC professionals. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Festus. I think that will be the only comment we'll take for this session, because we need to, because time is not on our side. We can drop our comments and questions on the chat box, and the presenter would respond, and others that ask comments will see our comment and learn from it. We're moving next to the agenda for the presentation of certificates to the first speaker. I'll be calling on Mrs. Monica Onsu to help us with this part. Mrs. Monica.
All right, thank you so much, Abnum. Thank you. Can you hear me? I want to confirm that everyone can hear me. You can hear me?
You,
all right, we want to really thank you so much, Mr. Precious, for this wonderful and great presentation. Thank you for taking out your time to share your knowledge and to give back, because I consider this platform as an opportunity to give back to our young emerging professionals, the YEP group, because the truth is they are truly the next leaders of our great profession. Without us hand-holding them and helping them to toe those paths adequately and correctly, I mean, they will not be able to wear this shoe adequately. And I consider this a great privilege for them, because when we were in this profession, we didn't even have the opportunity to have great mentors like you speak to us. So we want to really thank you. You have spoken so well, particularly the emphasis on trying to understand, if you find yourself in any industry, trying to understand the legal framework that make up that industry, so that you can be able to speak to the leadership of your organization from the point of knowledge, understanding the legal framework, understanding the codes, the guidelines, the standards that form the basis of your industry. And those are the kind of things that the leadership of a typical organization want to listen to. I don't want to do another lecture. So we just want to really appreciate you on behalf of our president, Mr. Shehu, the president of the YEP, Mr. Victor, and of course, the coordinator of this session, Abnum, and every other person that represents YEP. We really, really appreciate you. We thank you so much for your time. And of course, next time we call upon you, we know that you would answer us again, because definitely we're going to call upon you next time. Thank you so much for your time. And on behalf of the group, we present this certificate of recognition to you for your time with us this morning. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mrs. Monica. Mr. Precious, any short comments from you for the certificate presented?
Ms. Monica, I want to thank you very much. Mr. Avanum, I thank the team for creating this opportunity. I feel privileged. I feel honored giving me this opportunity to share my insight. And I thank the last person that commented, and I thank God that the young emerging professionals, you are. I would like to say this. You should be grateful that at the beginning of your career, you are having this talk. You are getting this opportunity to hear this talk. This should be what will guide you in anything you are doing. Do not just settle for short-term goals. Please settle for long-term goals. That's the advice I give. And thank you for this opportunity. And yes, I will say yes if I'm being called upon next time. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Precious. This certificate will be sent to you via WhatsApp or your email. Thank you very much, sir. So moving to the next speaker for the next session, I'll be reading his profile briefly. The person of Mr. Babatunde Adisuba. He is a highly motivated HSC professional with vast work experience of about 15 years in oil and gas, construction, and food manufacturing industries. His HSC experience cut across several HSC processes such as HSC management systems, HSC assurance, operational safety, project HSC management, emergency response, behavioral-based safety, contractor HSC management, logistics HSC, incident investigation and learning, HSC competence and risk management. Mr. Babatunde has several HSC positions and possesses excellent interpersonal communication and leadership skills. He has a master's degree in safety and risk management from Heriot-Watt University and has attended several HSC and leadership trainings and conferences globally, including the prestigious Harvard School of Public Health, Boston, USA. Mr. Babatunde is a member of several health and safety organizations in Nigeria and across the globe. He is a member of Institute of Safety Professionals of Nigeria. He is a chartered member of Institute of Occupational Safety and Health, IOSH. He is a certified safety professional. He is a Canadian registered safety professional. Mr. Babatunde has conducted several HSC training, including ISO lead auditors training and HSC workshop to support organizations improve their HSC management systems and safety culture. Mr. Babatunde is passionate about health and safety and is dedicated to supporting young HSC practitioners build their competencies in HSC. He enjoys traveling and spending time with family. Mr. Babatunde is happily married to his beautiful wife, Antonia, and blessed with 3 kids. Mr. Babatunde is the lead HSC advisor for Oman LNG LLC. He will be taking us on the topic, developing passion for the HSC profession. Mr. Babatunde, over to you, sir.
Thank you very much for that introduction. And just please, can you confirm that you can hear me?
Loud and clear, sir.
All right, thanks. And not just to take your time and the time of everyone on this call. I just really want to appreciate everyone on this call for your time, and really want to thank the leadership of this association for the privilege to really be able to share my experience and also my perception as well on how we can develop passion for the HSC profession. Just quickly confirm you can see my screen, because I have 2 screens up. I'm struggling with them. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir. Yes, we can see your screen, sir.
Okay, and I hope it's the right one, because I've got 2 screens up.
Yes, it's the right one, sir.
All right, great. So thanks also to Mr. Precious. I think he has made life easy for me by really setting the scene, looking at what the HSC profession is really all about. So I'm not going to go into the nitty-gritty of that. But just we'll really talk about the passion for HSC, and really maybe just a few things about what is really in it for you as well. So why do you really need to have passion in HSC, and really what's the benefit at the end of the day? So I think we'll just get straight into this. And I really will just start with this quote. I'm sure we're probably familiar with that face and the name, the co-founder of Apple, Steve, or late Steve. And really, the message I really want to bring out of this is really about you being passionate about anything you want to do in life. It's not really just looking at safety alone, but anything you really want to do in life. If you're not passionate about it, then you can't achieve success. So passion is really quite very important. I mean, in our day-to-day life, you have an idea, you have maybe a business plan you want to implement, you have a task you want to deliver, you have a purpose or you have a plan for yourself, maybe your career, personal goals. If you're not passionate about them, then it really will be very difficult to be able to really deliver on that. So passion is really quite very important about anything you want to do. You really have to be passionate about it. And similarly in the HSC business as well, or in the HSC profession, without passion, you really can't achieve success. In fact, you really can't go far. I think that's probably the right word to put. So you really have to demonstrate passion. It's quite very important and really non-negotiable in the HSC profession. So what really is passion about? When we talk about passion, what really are we talking about when we talk about passion? It's really about having affinity for something, having an attraction to something, having an interest in something, whether in a career, whether in a tax, whether in, I mean, whatever it is. It's really about how interested are you in that? How much affinity, how much admiration, how much interest, how much love expression do you really have? And it's similarly to, I mean, to HSC as well. If you don't have passion about HSC, then it's really quite very difficult for you to really be able to excel in HSC. And then frustrations will come in. I hear earlier at the beginning of this session where someone was talking about, oh, we have challenges with management. They don't tend to understand what HSC is about and all that. What really drives you when you're making those presentations and trying to make a business case to the leaders? It's really the passion. It's really the passion. You're trying to sell that to the leaders to say, come on, if we don't do this, these are the consequences of the actions that really could come out of this. So let's just maybe go back and step, and I really will try and make this interactive a bit. So maybe in the chat box, can you just mention one or two professions you think really require a passion or would require a passion for those kind of jobs? Maybe we'll take Nigeria as a case study. So what kind of professions in Nigeria do you think really require passion to be able to deliver on them? So maybe if I get 1, 2, 3 responses, I'll just probably move on with my presentation. So on the chat box, just post, I mean, just freely. Banking, interesting. Medicine, I see. Nursing, tend to be moving towards health. Banking, I mean, banking is quite an interesting one. If you go into the banks or if you go into the banking sector in the early 2000s, more than 50% of those in the bank industry were actually engineers. I'm sure a lot of people probably will remember that. So at the start of it, maybe not passion, but by the time they got into the business, then they really started having affinity for it. Yeah, so I see medicine, I see nursing. Nobody's mentioning health and safety. That's interesting. All right, so that's really what passion is about. And nobody even mentioned the military, for example. We have people in Sambisa Forest. Nobody get to talk about military, Nigerian police. I mean, these are people that are really passionate about what they do. That's why they still risk their lives to be where they are. Otherwise, then they probably would have left such kind of profession. But really just to say that there's hardly a profession without passion for that profession, you really would not excel in that profession. So passion is key. It is very, very important, irrespective of whatever profession that you are. So let's really talk about HSC a bit. And thanks to Mr. Precious for trying to break down HSC into different areas and discipline, just to probably help our young professionals to really understand HSC itself as a career. I mean, when we talk about engineering, I'm sure a lot of us will say, oh, we have mechanical engineering, we have process engineering, we have chemical engineering, we have civil engineering. But then when we ask you about HSC, what really are the disciplines or which areas in HSC do you think you can build a career in? Oftentimes when we talk to young professionals, you tend to see people really struggle and say, really, are there different disciplines in HSC? Are there areas in HSC other than maybe just health and safety, for example? And I think we talked about it earlier, looking out for unsafe act, unsafe conditions. That's really not what HSC is all about. So there are quite a lot of areas, and I think I mentioned about 13 of them or 14, if they're about, quite a lot of areas in HSC that you really can develop interest and build a career in. You have occupational health, you have industrial hygiene, you have construction, for example. And I think Mr. Precious also mentioned, relating it to the recent incident at Ikoyi. So you really need to have HSC in every part of the business. So whether in medicine, for example, whether in the food industry, for example, in construction, we have environment management that people can build career in. You have risk management, incident investigation and learning. That's also one section in HSC that you really can become a subject matter expert. And then people would start looking for you around the world. Recently, I got a request on LinkedIn. I mean, not a job I applied for, but someone just sent and said, oh, I've read through your profile and I see, oh, you are vast in incident investigation and learning. And we have a job for you in Qatar. Do you want to take this, share your CV with me? So that's really what it is. There are disciplines in HSC where you can really build a career. Emergency response, for example. Recently, a company in Canada sent out an advert looking for emergency response lead. That it is what it is. There are different sectors in HSC you can build your career. It could be in assurance, in management systems, in process safety, like Mr. Precious. And really process safety is also one of the in things. There are very few process safety engineers across the globe. So there's huge potentials, huge opportunities as an HSC professional. So you can look at each of these and say, okay, I really want to build in logistics, for example. I mean, land transport, we have a lot of transport companies in Nigeria. We have the aviation industry in Nigeria. We have the marine transport industry in Nigeria. You can decide to want to focus on that sector and then become an HSC SME, understanding the regulatory requirements for that industry, and then also you becoming an SME and supporting that industry. So there's huge opportunities in HSC, and really that's just to help kind of sensitize or really motivate you if you really want to build a career and in HSC. And I think it was mentioned earlier, this decade, really, you're probably better opportuned, unlike a number of us that when we started HSC, we really didn't have this kind of opportunity to really have people to coach you, to guide you, and then, give you insight into really what HSC is all about. And same thing also in our career. A number of us, probably maybe when we went to the university, at your year one, you weren't really sure what you wanted to do. I'm not sure. A couple of us, I remember in my 100 level, I was wondering, why really am I in this course? Up until my third year in school, I'm not really sure I really understood while I was in that discipline. But when I got out and went for my internship, and I saw how, people were really excelling in different industries, that really motivated me and gave me the passion to really want to excel in that discipline. So it's quite very important that you really need to build passion in HSC if you really want to be an HSC professional. And I'll just share a few tips with you, and they are really not going to be new. I'm sure you probably have seen this. People have probably shared this with you in several meetings or fora, and probably a lot of people also have probably told you about all this. So I'm not really going to share something that is different from what you have heard or seen, but just maybe something to kind of inspire you this morning, if you're in Nigeria, and afternoon, wherever you are, or evening as well. So how do you develop passion for HSC? First, what is your purpose? Why are you in HSC? Am I here just to while away time and get a better job? Am I here just maybe because, like the chairman said, oh, my uncle just gave me this job because that's what's really available for now. So you really need to understand your purpose. Why am I in HSC? And have a plan. And that will help you in terms of building passion or having to build a career in HSC. Identify your strengths. I shared with you about 13 areas in HSC where you can really build a career in. So look at them and try to research in each of those different disciplines and see which one interests you most. And when you identify that, then you can build your passion across that discipline. And then that takes me to the next one, competence. I think Mr. Precious talked about that, so I'm not going to spend more time on that. But oftentimes we have this notion, a number of us often think that once you have attended a training, then you are competent. And that's really false. A training will really give you just maybe an awareness or knowledge about that subject. But then when you start applying your knowledge, then you acquire skills. And that skills that you develop is really what makes you competent at the end of the day. So it's not just the knowledge or the training just gives you knowledge. So you need to apply the knowledge, and that's the definition of competence, applying that knowledge in whatever activity that you want to do. So competence is very important. And there's a simple adage that says that if you are not competent, then you can't be able to communicate. And if you cannot communicate as an HSC professional, you can't be confident. So those 3 C's really go together: confidence, competence, and communication. And as an HSC professional, I'm sure you know that communication skills is really one of the skills that you must really have if you want to excel. So we talk about knowledge, we talk about experience, but then the third part of it is really attitude. And I can also link that to passion. So you can have the best training. You can go to Harvard. You can have the best training all over the world. You can even have the best experience. But if you don't have the right attitude to work, you may not succeed. I probably will use that word. You may not succeed. So attitude as an HSC professional is key to your success. So knowledge, experience, attitude, that will help you build your competence in your journey. I think we talked about this a lot. Mr. Precious emphasized on you continually searching for knowledge, continually researching. Things change every day. Standards changes, regulations changes, technology changes. So every day you must really, really continually seek knowledge. And that's really how you can excel and build passion in HSC. Your soft skills, I talked about that earlier. You have to have excellent communication skills. I mean, imagine you're trying to intervene and you really don't know how to communicate. The intervention can be effective, or you want to sell a business case to the leaders and you cannot communicate and make a case to them, you can achieve success. So communication skills is very important. Oftentimes we pay attention on our technical skills. Oh, okay, you have to have neighbors, you have to have a master's, you have to have all that. But then those soft skills are really the most important part of it, because with your technical competence, if you cannot communicate, if you cannot influence people, if you cannot, if you're not emotionally intelligent, for example, as an HSC professional, then your technical competencies won't be effective. So soft skills, very, very important. Interpersonal relationship. As an HSC professional, you really need to build interpersonal relationship. And that's what will really help you to really build trust, or make the employees in your workplace build trust in you. That's really very, very important. And your leadership skills. When we talk about leadership skills, it's not you being HSC manager. No, everyone in HSC is a safety leader. And what do we mean by saying safety leadership? It's being able to influence people. And that's really what your role is as an HSC professional. You're providing support to the organization. You're making leaders, you're providing advice to the management. It's your ability to influence them that will really help the leaders, or we convince the leaders to be able to follow your suggestions or your advice or your proposals. So those skills are very, very important. As you develop your technical skills, your HSC competency, please do not neglect your soft skills, because then those hand in hand, your HSC technical competencies and your soft skills is really what will make you excel as an HSC professional and help you also build passion in HSC. You need a mentor in life. You need a coach. You need someone that will support you in your journey. When I started my HSC journey, or my HSC career, I mean, I got into HSC and really I had little clue. I mean, I had done some courses in HSC in the UK, which was okay. But there was that quest for knowledge. I needed to really understand. I mean, everything was just vague to me. There were a lot of things happening at the same time. I needed someone to really help me on that journey. And that's really where the coaches come in. And that's really part of what's shaping my career in HSC. So you really need to check through, look for a coach, or even have coaches that really will help you build your career and really support you in your journey. I mean, this presentation, it could look as easy as it is, a 20 minutes presentation to talk to your professionals. But just a few days ago, I had a call to one of my coaches, or a chat with my coaches, and one of my coaches, and I said, well, I have a presentation with some young professionals. This is what I want to present. Do you think it's in line with the goal of this, or with this topic? And he sent few words that I added up to my slides. So that's really how we learn. That's how we improve. That's what helps build our passion, especially building passion in HSC. You need a coach, especially there may be situations, there may be times when you really will be confused. You really would wonder whether you want to continue this journey. That is where the coaches will come in, support you, provide the right guidance, provide the right advice, and really help motivate you towards improving your career, or helping you become a better HSC professional. So please, if you don't have a coach, look for one or two or three or more. That really will help you in your career. Build network. Networking is key. I hear people say your network is your net worth. And it's really very true. Build careers wherever you are, build networks rather, wherever you are. You never can tell. Today, I'm not in Nigeria, I'm in Oman. Why? Because I built a network many years ago, worked with someone that saw potential in me and brought me here. So you never can tell where where those networks will lead you to. When you attend conferences, when you attend trainings, when you attend seminars, build network, collaborate, work with people, get contacts. Not really because you need, you may not need them at that point, but you never can tell. You could need them maybe for knowledge sharing, for example. You want to get a regulation or a standard or a document that will help you to be able to build a business case, for example. Those are the kind of things that really would help. So networking is quite very, very important. I mean, that's one thing I always strive to do anywhere I meet myself, network with people. It really, really would help you a lot in your journey as an HSE professional. And at every point in time, always pause and think through again. What is my plan? Where am I? Where am I now in that journey? What do I need to do? Am I on the right path? Do I need to deviate a bit? Am I on the right path? What do I need to do differently? What do I need to continue? What do I need to stop? Always reflect and evaluate as an HSE professional. And that really will help you in your career. So these are just few things. I mean, sharing my perception, sharing my experience. This really had helped me in my HSE journey, my 15 years as an HSE professional. And really, why do I even want to be an HSE, for example? So why do I really want to be in HSE? Why do I want to build a career, for example, in HSE? There are opportunities all over the world. In fact, in Nigeria, there are huge opportunities, and I can assure you in the next few years, there will be opportunities for HSE professionals. So opportunities here, global profession is a global profession. So HSE is HSE everywhere in the world. The standards maybe what will be different, the regulations may be different, but as an HSE professional, the foundation would help you. So having the right foundation would help you, and you can advance your career anywhere in the world. So it's a global profession. It's a challenging career, so you really have to be ready to face those challenges. But the rewards, I mean, you can't quantify the rewards you get as an HSE professional. Look, aside the financial gains, the fact that at the end of every day, you look out of your door of your office and you see everybody go back to their homes safely. For me, that's really what makes me happy every night when I go to bed. So really, it's a challenging but a rewarding career. The opportunity to grow. In your career, you have opportunity for career growth, progression, and network opportunities all over the world, not just restricted to Nigeria or maybe the ASSP, for example. So there are huge opportunities. And like I mentioned earlier, self-actualization. If you remember the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, self-actualization is actually at the top. The fact that you are happy that you are contributing to your organization, helping to ensure that you achieve goal zero, helping to ensure that, I mean, you help the company, for example, to make profits by not spending on accidents, investigations, and lost times or lost man hours. That really will give you some sense of fulfillment. And that's really one of the things that is in it for you as an HSE professional. And the fact that you also will build relationship. For the society, I think I've talked about that. You help to build a safe workplace. That really, helps the leaders build trust in you, the workers build trust in you because they know that you are part of the team. You are an enabler. You are not just a financial, I think Mr. Precious mentioned that you are not just there to spend money, but they are there to support the organization to achieve their goal, which is really making profit. So when you are a HSE professional, when you are competent, you're confident, you can communicate effectively, you will contribute to the organization. You will earn employees and employer trust. And that really, it's one, good benefits that you get and the organization also get. You ensure nobody goes home in a body bag. That's really one of the most painful part of being an HSE professional. You don't want to be, take for example, the Koyi incident. Imagine if you were the HSE lead or the HSE manager or even the HSE advisor or officer in that project. How will you feel? More than 38 people lost their lives in a project that you were part of. You don't really want to. Imagine on your first day at work, you get to your work site and you hear the ambulance and taking like 5 people out of the site, and you hear people say, this year alone, this is the 5th time this accident had happened. just ask yourself, do you want to work with that company? For me, I would just leave and go home. Rather stay at home than work in an organization where people lose their life. So it's quite very important as an HSE professional, you support the organization to ensure that, everybody goes home safely. Currently, this is a Saturday, and you can see it. Probably you'll see that I'm wearing my PPE. Why? Because I'm at site in a project where we have more than 2,000 people on the site. So you can imagine, with about 50 HSE professionals here working together to ensure that every day, these more than 2,000 people go back to their families, their loved ones safely. So, like I said earlier, it's a challenging task, but it's really a rewarding career. So you really need to think through about that. Do I really want to stay in HSE? If you want to, then you really need to build passion. If you're not passionate about people, you cannot be passionate about HSE. You can't be passionate about health and safety. Let's really be serious about this. And our goal is really to ensure that we make every day a safe day as an HSE professional. So I will end with this slide, and probably another quote from Steve again. Why are you really in this profession? Just ask yourself. And reflect on it and ask yourself, why am I really here? Is it just a part-time job for me? Am I just here because, I studied HSE in school and I just want to work in HSE? Or is it because, these days, I think the chairman mentioned it earlier, there's no job in town, but if you go and do ISPON level 1, 2, 3, you are sure that you can be a safety officer in a small company and you can start your career from there. It's not bad to start your career small to start that, but you really need to understand why you are in HSE. Or because is it that the organization just moved you into HSE? If they did, yeah, that's fine. Then you now have to build your career and say, well, now I'm in HSE, what do I really want to do differently? And that's the question I have for you. Why are you in HSE? What's your purpose? What's your plan? How do you want to build your passion and your career in HSE? Believe me, HSE is rewarding. I can really assure you, and from experience, I can really tell you that it is rewarding. So we end on this note, and I will just hand over again to the coordinator of this event. The only way to do great work is to love what you do. Believe me, if you don't love HSE, you would not stay long. You would not excel. You will end up being frustrated, and at the end of the day, you probably would pull out of HSE. Because the challenges are numerous, they're enormous. Every day, different challenges. But what keeps you going is the passion. The fact that you want everybody on the site to go back home safely. And the fact that you want to contribute to developing the skills or building awareness in the hearts and minds of people, and also supporting the leaders in the organization to ensure that they make profits so that you can stay in business and have something for yourself and your family. So I really thank the organizers of this program. Thanks really for inviting me on this first series. And I really thank Victor. I know it probably would have taken some conviction. This is really one of the busiest times in my, for me, but really having the time to talk to young professionals is really what I really love doing. And I really want to appreciate you for giving me this opportunity. So thank you very much. Please always think through it as an HSE professional, have passion, search for a mentor, and you really will excel in this journey. Thank you very much. Over to you, the coordinator.
Thank you very much, Mr. Batunde, for the introduction to developing passion as an HSE professional. Just welcome, just one. Okay, Mr. Victor, let's hear you, please.
Okay, thank you very much, Amanu. Thank you, Babati, for the insights, such a very insightful presentation. But one key area that I really appreciate that you mentioned is the area of coaching. I think it's something that we really need to look into in terms of in most organizations, because sometimes I had that experience coming into an environment and I don't have someone that I can look up to that can guide me. Sometimes can be very, very strenuous and very demotivating. So this is for me. I feel this is a take home, and very any other leader that is here in your organization. I think that platform for coaching should be implemented when a new intake of HSC professionals come into that organization, so that they can be well guided. Because most time we just want to do everything. But there's a wise man that say when you do everything, you end up losing everything. So it's good that you focus on something and focus on it well and achieve the best out of it. So thank you very much once again. I just wanted to pick that insight, and then also to use this opportunity to also tell everyone that is here, especially our young people, that we have a fora. Sorry, please unmute if you're not speaking, please. All right. So it's also use opportunity to tell everyone that we have a forum called the Mentor Mentee program, which is being spearheaded by one of our member here, Mr. George. And that forum is actually to achieve that coaching system in the ASSP. So that's it. Thank you very much. Abanu, back to you.
Thank you, Mr. George. Mr. Victor, sorry. Mr. George, can we hear your comment, sir, or question?
All right, thank you very much. Actually, is a comment. I want to thank Babatunde. Nice to see you again after some years being together with you in Bonny, and you are in Oman LNG. It was an insightful one. Personally, my heart was beating fast. Why was it beating fast? It was simply because you brought to bear a whole lot of things. I wish you would join our mentor program. The area I will want to emphasize or add to what you have said, along with what Precious actually gave, is in the aspect of networking. From my experience, one thing I have come to understand we are lacking many of the time is the ability to network as HSC professional. Now, what does that network mean? I'm not saying that, well, you don't interact with people. There's things we call office politics. When in my early days, I felt that that was a dirty thing, politicking and getting to know. But the truth is, as you grow and get along with your leadership, either at the mid-level or even at a senior level, you understand that you cannot deal without politics. It is the aspect of the office politics that give you that leverage to network between possible people who will stall your progress, things you want to bring to bear, the way you convince the management. If you are able to talk to those who have the potential to make things change, those who have the potential to enforce things, the people who are the ones who shakes and make real decisions in the organization, then you have a key to sell your point. No matter how passionate, as he had said, you can be, but if you have someone who does not buy into your idea, the Americans will use it lobby. You cannot lobby your way through by way of interaction. You will always have that serious problem. So it is important that, as he mentioned, you network. But in that network, please, as HSC professionals, let's leverage on the office politics, not the negative aspect. You don't snitch, you don't go to gossip, but know your boss, manage your boss. Your boss may not be a HSC manager only, but it can be the person in account, the boss in account. It can be the production manager. It can be the mechanical manager. It can be the CEO if you have a way to reach into those persons. That's the addition I want to add. Thank you, Babatunde. Very interesting one. I will want to reach out if need be, so that we'll talk more.
Thank you very much, Mr. George. I don't know, this person, Mr. or Mrs. Afola Shade, I don't know if you still have your comments. You can mute yourself and speak, please.
Okay, thank you. Thanks so much, Mr. Babatunde, for the inspiring presentation. That was really helpful. So my question goes this way. Okay, now choosing a mentor. Now choosing a mentor doesn't mean that your mentor must be a safety personnel or a random person, or let's say a manager in a company. So that's just my question. Must the person be a safety personnel as a mentor?
Thanks, Folashade, for that question. And maybe just to answer straight away because of time. So the person doesn't necessarily have to be a manager, or even sometimes doesn't even have to be in safety. And I can share I have a coach who is a finance manager. I have another coach in HR, for example. I have a coach also in safety as well. So yeah, you could have mentors that are not in HSC, but it's also good that, especially for young professionals, have one at least in HSC, because then they can help you, guide you through the right path. But in terms of, like I said, I mean, HSC, it's not just about your technical competencies, you also have your soft skills as well. So you need other disciplines that would also help and support you in this journey. So just don't rely on only HSC. You can't get mentors and coaches from other part of other disciplines as well.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much.
Can I add just one voice to that? Just one thing. Please don't also consider your mentor to be one who is superior to you in the organization. It can as well be your next workmate, so long as he or she knows what both of you are doing. So leverage on the people around you, and that's how you build the network that you can influence. I mean, talk to the person. I've seen people who comes in as safety officers and they are going to talk to someone who is in production, who may have considered himself to be in that business for 10, 15 years, and suddenly you are trying to tell him to change the way he does things. How do you look at that person as your mentor? First of all, approach him or her by saying, can you teach me a little bit of how you do your work? In that way, the person has become your mentor. And with that, you get salient points you can use to influence the way he does things.
Thank you very much, Mr. Victor. So, Mr. George, please help us with the presentation of certificate, please. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Once again, Babatunde, well done, well said, and well presented. My people say sometimes when you see a good dancer, even if you're on the dancing floor, if you have the humility, you could take a seat and watch the dance steps. I believe many of us has also taken to that. We've watched your dance steps today, and we have taken a lot into it. I wish this presentation is not just for the young emerging professionals. It would have been something for the professionals as well, because safety professionals has to be open-minded, ready to learn every day, every time. So on that note of telling you thank you, I want to say on behalf of our president, Shehu Kabri, and the chairman of the YEP program, Mr. Victor Egbe, and Abanu, who has been tirelessly working on this and have brought this to fruition. I want to present this certificate to you as our custom for the job well done today. Thank you very much, Mr. Tunde Adesuga, for what you have done so well. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Mr. Victor. Mr. Babatunde, can you just say some words?
All right, maybe just once again, I really want to thank, the leadership of this association for this privilege, really, to be able to really talk to us. Don't take this for granted. It's really a great privilege. And also want to thank everyone that has participated in this session. Let's continue to learn. Let's continue to network. Let's continue to support each other. And really, I mean, we all have a role to play in the development of Nigeria as well as a great country. So we as stakeholders, let's really continue to demonstrate our competence and support for Nigeria in HSC. Thank you once again, and just let's continue to stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Abatunde. And moving on to the last item on the agenda, the closing remarks from the chair of the YP Common Interest Group, Mr. Victor.
Okay, thank you very much, everybody. Thank you especially to the lead for this work stream, YEP, Abanu. Thank you. Isakba. Thank you very much. Sometimes I struggle, but thank you. You know what I'm telling you. Thank you for all the energy and the push that you have put into bringing this into reality. And I want to use this opportunity to also thank all the speakers that has come out today to speak to us on the various topic. Very insightful, Mr. Precious. Thank you so much, and Babatunde Adesugba, thank you so much for creating out that time. Just like Mr. George mentioned, we would like to touch base with you so that we'll incorporate you into the mentor-mentee program, and also Mr. Precious as well. So when you see us knocking at the door, please open the door to welcome us in. Yes, the issue of HSC is an unending issue. We continue to deepen the conversation and hope that things become better, especially in our country, Nigeria. I want to also use this opportunity to thank my president, Mr. Shehu Kabiru, and all my executive. I can see Mr. James, our delegate 2. I can see Mr. Festus, our treasurer, and all others have made out time to be here. Thank you very much for supporting this common interest group. We really appreciate you. And on this note, I would like to say, please, let's keep it safe and continue to push that HSC culture so that it can become something that is part of us. HSC is not just something that we are working, but it should be our life. It should be a culture, something that we take personally, so that our environment and everybody around us shall be safe, and even ourselves shall remain safe. Thank you very much. We look forward to the next KSS. Hopefully, we will talk about coaching and mentorship in our next KSS. Thank you very much, everybody. God bless you and have a wonderful day.
Thank you. God bless. Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Goodbye.